Welcome to my channel, Most Worth Coin WC, where history lives in your hands. If you're passionate about rare coins, vintage currency, and the fascinating stories behind them, you're in the right place. Don't forget to watch the full video, share it with your fellow collectors, like, and subscribe to stay updated with more valuable content every week. So let's get started. The United States of America Washington quarter dollar dated 1982 with a P mint mark is a historically important coin in the Washington quarter series and a fascinating study for collectors because of its production context, design, and circulation history. Struck at the Philadelphia Mint, identified by the small P mark on the obverse near the date, this coin is one of the first years that the Philadelphia Mint placed its mint mark on quarters, a practice that only began in 1980. Prior to that, Philadelphia coins carried no mint mark, making the P designation on a 1982 quarter an interesting milestone in the evolution of U.S. coinage practices. The obverse front of the coin carries the classic left-facing bust of George Washington, the first president of the United States, designed by sculptor John Flanagan and based on a bust by Jean-Antoine Houdon. Surrounding the portrait, the word Liberty arcs boldly across the top rim, while the motto "I in God We Trust" is inscribed just to the left of Washington's neck and jawline, with the date 1982 positioned prominently below the truncation of the bust. The small P mint mark rests just above the date, serving as an official indicator that the coin was produced at the Philadelphia Mint facility. On the reverse back, the design also by Flanagan features a powerful heraldic American bald eagle, a long-standing emblem of the United States. The eagle is shown with its wings outstretched, standing atop a bundle of arrows, which symbolize military readiness and the capacity to defend the nation, while beneath the arrows lies an olive branch, representing peace. Above the eagle's head, inscribed in smaller lettering, appears the motto E pluribus unum, a Latin phrase meaning out of many, one, a reminder of a unity forged among the individual states to create one nation. Encircling the top of the coin is the national title United States of America, while along the lower rim the denomination is spelled out as quarter dollar, a clear marker of its face value. The design as a whole balances imagery of strength, unity, peace, and trust, reflecting key ideals of the American identity. The 1982 P quarter is particularly notable in numismatic circles because the U.S. Mint did not issue traditional uncirculated coin sets or proof sets that year due to budgetary restrictions, making 1982 one of the few modern years when collectors had no official mint package coins to acquire. As a result, the only way to obtain 1982 P quarters was through circulation, rolls, or bags sold directly from a mint. This unique circumstance meant that while hundreds of millions of 1982 P quarters were struck for daily commerce, true mint state examples with nowhere were far harder to preserve, since they were not packaged in protective mint-issued sets. For this reason, while well-worn circulated examples are extremely common even today, high-grade uncirculated specimens, especially those certified at grades MS65 and higher, are significantly scarcer and command premiums in the numismatic market. The coin itself is composed of the copper-nickel-clad formula introduced in 1965, an inner core of pure copper sandwiched between outer layers of 75% copper and 25% nickel. This gives the coin its familiar silvery white appearance while maintaining durability for daily circulation. Standard specifications include a weight of 5.67 grams, a diameter of 24.3 millimeters, and a thickness of 1.75 millimeters, with a reeded edge designed both for tactile recognition and to prevent the shaving or clipping of metal from the coin's perimeter. Billions of these clad quarters circulated across the country, serving in countless transactions, vending machines, parking meters, and toll booths, which was their primary role as practical money rather than collectible objects. Beyond the technical details, the 1982 P quarter also represents the economic and cultural climate of the early 1980s. The United States was emerging from a period of high inflation and recession, and coins like this one played a daily role in commerce when a quarter still had substantial purchasing power compared to today. At the same time, the coin carried forward the enduring national theme seen in its inscriptions, liberty reminding citizens of the nation's founding principle, in God we trust, reflecting the continuing emphasis on divine providence, and E pluribus unum symbolizing unity amidst diversity. These mottos, along with the portraits and heraldic imagery, ensured that every coin was not just a medium of exchange, but also a miniature piece of national identity in circulation. Today, the 1982p quarter is an intriguing collectible. Circulated examples remain extremely common, with little premium above face value unless preserved in exceptional condition. However, sharp mint state pieces with clean surfaces, strong strikes, and minimal bag marks are far scarcer, making them more desirable to collectors building complete Washington quarter sets. Era varieties, such as off-center strikes, double die obverses or reverses, and clip planches, are also known and can be quite valuable, depending on rarity and demand. The absence of mint sets in 1982 continues to give this coin a unique place in American numismatic history, cementing its role as a coin that is simultaneously ordinary in circulation but extraordinary in pristine collector grades. The United States of America Washington quarter dollar dated 1983 with a P mint mark is an especially important issue in modern numismatics, not just because of its design and symbolism, but because of the unique historical context of its production and distribution. Struck at the Philadelphia Mint, identified by the small P mint mark just above the date on the obvos, the 1983p quarter continues a long-running Washington quarter series that began in 1932 to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. On the obvos front of the coin, we see John Flanagan's famous left-facing bust of George Washington, a design based on Jean-Antoine Houdon's neoclassical sculpture. The word Liberty arcs boldly across the upper rim, while to the left of Washington's portrait appears the national motto, "I in God we trust," a reflection of the enduring belief in divine providence and moral guidance. At the bottom of the obvos, the date 1983 is clearly inscribed, and just above it rests the small P mint mark, signifying the Philadelphia Mint. Important because only since 1980 had the P mint mark been placed on quarters, making this still a relatively new tradition of time. The reverse back of the 1983p quarter features a heraldic American bald eagle, wings spread wide in a posture of vigilance and strength, an image that was part of the Washington quarter's reverse design from 1932 until 1998. The eagle stands proudly upon a bundle of arrows, symbolizing defense and readiness to protect the nation's liberty, while below it rests an olive branch, an emblem of peace and the hope for harmony. Above the eagle's head appears the Latin motto E pluribus unum, out of many, one, emphasizing unity among the states and the idea of national identity forged from diversity. Surrounding the reverse design is the inscription United States of America across the top rim, with a denomination quarter dollar arch along the bottom. This combination of symbolism, Washington, liberty, trust in God, unity, readiness, and peace, ensured that each quarter was more than just a coin of commerce. It was also a small token of American values circulating daily in the hands of citizens. What makes the 1983p quarter historically remarkable is that, like its 1982 predecessor, it was struck in a year when the U.S. Mint did not issue official uncirculated mint sets or proof sets due to cost-cutting and budgetary decisions. This absence meant that collectors had no easy way to obtain pristine examples directly from the mint, forcing them to search for coins in circulation, in rolls, or in bulk bags. While the Philadelphia Mint struck hundreds of millions of 1983 quarters for daily use, virtually all entered commerce immediately, and thus most surviving examples are found with heavy wear, scratches, and circulation marks. High-grade uncirculated specimens, especially those graded MS-65 or higher, are therefore far scarcer than in other modern years, which significantly increases their desirability and value in the numismatic market. The situation created a scarcity within abundance, a coin that is extremely common in worn condition but relatively rare in superb mint state. Technically, the coin conforms to the modern clad composition introduced in 1965, consisting of a pure copper core bonded to outer layers of 75% copper and 25% nickel, producing a familiar silver-colored surface. It has a standard weight of 5.67 grams, a diameter of 24.3 millimeters, and a thickness of 1.75 millimeters, with a reeded edge that both details counterfeiting and prevents dishonest shaving of metal from the rim. These specifications, uniform across all modern quarters, ensure consistency in commerce, allowing the coin to function reliably in vending machines, parking meters, toll booths, and daily transactions. The 1983p issue represents not only the physical coin but also the larger role of coinage in an American economy transitioning through inflation, technological change, and shifting consumer behavior. Symbolically, the coin continued to carry forward enduring American ideals. Liberty on the obverse reminded citizens of the revolutionary foundations of the nation, while I and God we trust reinforced the cultural and spiritual values enshrined in the national motto. On the reverse, the eagle and olive branch created a balance of power and peace, while E pluribus unum acknowledged the unity of states and peoples under one flag. Each quarter that passed through commerce in 1983 thus represented a tangible expression of national identity. Economically, the quarter still held significant purchasing power at the time, being able to buy a newspaper, a phone call, or small good in a way that feels strikingly different when compared to today's values. From a collector's perspective, the 1983p quarter is one of the most intriguing modern-clad Washington quarters because of the scarcity of high-grade uncirculated examples. Circulated coins are common and generally worth only face value, but sharp, well-struck mint state coins, particularly those with strong luster and minimal contact marks, can be worth much more. Error varieties from this year are also known, such as off-center strikes, clip planches, and double dies, and these can command notable premiums. The absence of official mint sets in 1983 continues to drive a demand for high-grade coins and makes this year stand out among the long run of Washington quarters. In summary, the 1983p Washington quarter embodies a fascinating duality. It is an ordinary coin that passed through countless daily transactions, yet in its best preserved form it has become one of the scarcer and more desirable modern quarters for collectors. It reflects not only the artistry of John Flanagan's design and the symbolic power of its mottos and imagery, but also the unique historical conditions of the early 1980s mint policies that shaped its availability. Today, it stands as a piece of American history, simultaneously common in pocket change yet special and challenging to acquire in pristine condition, offering a window into the nation's economy, values, and coinage practices of the era.